bringing joy, jazz and the spirit of social justice when Ezra Collective won the Mercury Prize days ago. They didn't just become the first jazz act to win in its 31-year history.
Ezra Collective.
Their frontman Femi Kolioso's speech was a statement to protect youth clubs.
Ezra Collective represents something very special because we met in a youth club. Do you hear what I'm saying?
We met Ezra Collective's Ife and Femi at the home of British jazz Ronnie Scott's to talk political statements and Mercury Prize. Now, you made a joke that basically there must be a God if a jazz act can win the Mercury Prize.
Yeah.
But you sounded like you were surprised as well.
Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I guess you kind of, in your head, just build up a narrative of, we've done so well to be nominated, so just be happy with that, do you know what I'm saying? So when Jams was reading it out and she said our name, I couldn't believe. That's why we all ended up on the floor. We couldn't believe it. Do you know what I mean?
It was shock. It was shock because as much as we felt like we were able to win. You know, everyone in the room produced great music and was all deserving to win. So it was just, you know, beautiful to hear our name get called up.
This is a special moment for every single organisation across the country ploughing their efforts and time into young people playing music.
It kind of felt like a speech that had intent. You talked about youth clubs. Why was it important to kind of shine a spotlight on that?
I think it was just important to bring a degree of honesty to the moment. Like, it was a great moment about the five of us on the stage, but it would have been a lie if I left it at that, because I know, we all know, anyone that knows us knows what we represent, what we are, where we've come from.
Femi's speech also reignited a conversation. Since 2011, youth services in England have been cut by nearly 70%.
It's heartbreaking because someone like myself saw firsthand in HD how important they are. And I feel that if you haven't quite interacted with it in the same way that I have, it'd be easy to think they're of no use, but I know how useful they are. Anyone else that has been in contact with a youth club knows how useful they are. I understand why cuts happen, but I just don't think it should be in that direction, because I think the youth of the country, the youth of tomorrow, everything like that is the most important thing.
We met in a youth club. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Community organisation Ambitious Academy in East London are listening to every word. Like Ezra Collective, they too met in a youth club.
It's kind of made me who I am today. It's given me more direction. It's given me, I've got a career out of what would have started in the youth club for us.
When your youth club closed, what impact does it have on you?
It played a major part because it was like, I kind of felt empty. Like after school, I didn't have nowhere to go. Like the youth club was like, I resided in the youth club. I seen it as like a second home.
As you can see, it's only just 3 tables and a flip chart, but we made something incredible happen from it.
Shorten Smith founded the social enterprise on his estate to get local kids into creative industries. But a few years ago, their community centre closed.
For people like Ezra Collective to go on stage and actually explain and sort of make it a reality to people that youth clubs are actually needed. They've shown that they met up in the youth club and how they sort of built their relationships and friendships from in the youth club. And that's what youth clubs allow these young people to do, especially if they come from an area where they haven't got a youth club. They're not going to be able to socialise with people. They're not going to be able to come in and have certain role models that's going to push them and raise their aspirations.
Well, the government say they're committed to their Youth Investment Fund, which will deliver up to 300 new youth facilities. Making music accessible for all is top of Ezra Collective's agenda.
It's important to have all the diversity. You know, there is a time and a place for a really expensive bottle of wine and listen to someone playing the piano. Maybe not my time and place, but there is a time and place for it. But then there's also a time and place for a club that's in the middle of nowhere and young people are there and everyone's screaming and jumping. You know, both happens.
How have you managed to make jazz mainstream, to get away from this sort of Six Music dad brand of jazz and appeal to the masses?
Jazz to me is an art form where it's champions being yourself, being authentic, you know. So that's the thing we try and champion in our own music, and I guess that's what's resonated with a younger crowd. That's what resonated with crowds that won't necessarily be into jazz because we're into other things like grime, Afrobeat, bashment.
What I'm trying to get is, have you made jazz cool again?
Wow, I think it's always been cool. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a jazz musician, and we will never be cooler than John Coltrane.
Never, never.
I mean, or Miles Davis. Miles Davis had a red trumpet. Your trumpet's normal colour.
So
we're nowhere near. But,
Did you ever think where you would go would be the Mercury Prize?
no, that wasn't in our mind. We were just trying to get out of the house so we could just have a dance, man.
band's win wasn't only a moment in the history books, but a call from the global stage to protect the smaller spaces, the youth clubs and community centres, where stars like Ezra Collective are made.